we've kind of covered a lot. It's coming up on the hour too, so I'm gonna try to push through this. I don't want to keep y'all here all day. I know you got a lot to do, but we kind of talked about goals for 2021. We've talked about the market, message, and media on how to achieve those goals. We talked about the hub. We want to have a website built to convert, and then we want to track this so we know what's happening and where what's going on. So let's talk about a few trends and as far as 2021 goes. Some of these have kind of been in play, but we're kind of seeing some of them start to ramp up. I think local service ads is kind of rolled out. I think in your city, most likely. If you don't see it in your city, it might be because you're in a smaller town, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty much rolled out nationwide at this point. And I kind of showed you guys some of the text message stuff. We're seeing text messaging, back and forth with prospects become more and more relevant. And it kind of seems, people don't really, for whatever reason, don't want to talk on the phone sometimes. They just rather shoot text, right? So that we're kind of seeing that's becoming more and more popular. And then again, this started before, next year. This was just as important this year, but even with COVID and all this stuff, pushing stuff online, like there's more eyeballs on the internet now than probably any time in history. Having an all-in perspective on the internet marketing is become more and more relevant next year. And just to show some of you, if you don't know it, the Google Local Service ad, Google Local Services, Google Local Service Ads. I feel like they've changed the name 14 times on this, but some of you might know it as Google Guaranteed. I know there's a lot of people calling it that, but it's the three horizontal boxes across the top when you do a search. It's not for all keywords, but it's basically Google's pay-per-lead platform, right? So it's just one way of getting leads, and this could be one means of getting the leads, like we talked about earlier. So what has that done to the search results? As you can see, so now we have kind of four big, places for you guys to get in front of and to get as much traffic as you can and to get as much business as you can, right? So we got the Google Local Service at the top. So that's why it's kind of important, because it forces you to the top of the page, right? So people will see it, but I mean, some people still don't click it though because they know it's an ad, right? Some people have their buying preferences. But see, as you can see, it pushes down the Google ads, which still work, but it just pushes it down. And then you got the Google My Business, Google Maps rankings, below that. And then you've got the SEO and organic rankings, the websites and all that below the Google Maps. So, I kind of look at it as the, four big pillars as far as generating leads online and getting more business. So I'll run this real quick for those of you that are new to the Google Local Service ads. Like, you do have to fill out an application. Google will run a background check on you and your employees. I think it'll only be on your employees that are going to go to the job. I don't think it has to be like, if you have 50 people at your company, I don't think you have to do all 50. Just all your techs or service people that'll be going to the job, they're gonna have to get a background check. Then you got to submit, your licenses, your insurance, proof of all that. They just want to make sure you're a legit company. And then once you're active, again, it's a pay-per-lead platform. And, we've kind of seen anywhere from $75 to $129 per lead, but the prices will vary by, the city and the specific services you go after. And actually, on that note, I think in September, Google's actually changing this to a bidding system, which I'm sure, because I know there's some lead providers that have done that in the past, and I know a lot of our clients are telling me how frustrated they were from that, because, if you put in there you're willing to pay $100 for a lead, and then Bob comes in there and says, hey, I'm willing to pay $200, then you have to come back and say, hey, I'm willing to pay $225. I mean, the cost per lead can get astronomical in this arena, as I'm sure you guys know if you've ever done a pay-per-lead model. It can be I mean, 4 or 5. I've seen $750. I mean, some of you might, Miami, you can pay $1,000, $1,250 to a plumber for a lead, right? I mean, it can get crazy. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think this is still in beta. So I don't think this has been rolled out across the country yet, but you might see this in your market if you're in some of the larger cities. But some of the feedback we've gotten on it, I mean, it can be a cheaper, cost per lead versus PPC. It can be a higher quality lead than HomeAdvisor, because HomeAdvisor, I think they might offer exclusive leads. You just got to pay more for them, but their bare bones services, shared leads. So if you get that lead, you're paying them, but 4 other guys got the same lead, right? And what I'm hearing is a lot of times the people aren't even answering the phone because they're getting hounded by like 8 companies at once, and they just get pissed off, and they're not even answering the call. But you still get some price shoppers. You have to follow up quickly, but I mean that's just business. I mean you gotta once you answer the call, I mean you gotta sell a little bit. I mean some of these water damage jobs are home runs, easy layups, but not all of them are. Like sometimes you might just sell a little bit. But in the water damage world, if it's still $80 to $130 in your market for a good water damage lead, I'd do it all day long. Like it probably won't. Well, and you already see Google's already changed to bidding systems. I can promise you, if they roll that out nationwide, it's it'll jump to 200, 300, 400, 500 quickly. Is my guess, based on what I've seen in the pay per lead world, and just in the pay per click world, right? Like it's just gotten more expensive over time. That's just the hand we've been dealt that we got to deal with, right? So the same thing's probably about to happen with this, unfortunately. But hey, like I said, if you put in $1, like I mentioned earlier, and get 2 back, like why in the world would you not do it? I mean, as long as the ROI is there, I'd be full throttle on it. Hope you got value out of that video. If you're looking for more ideas and strategies for better ways to market your water, mold, or fire damage restoration business online, you can go to restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there we have a free checklist you can download. It's called the Ultimate Online Marketing Guide for Damage Restoration Contractors. And there you'll be able to get the latest strategies that are working now to really increase your lead flow online. You could probably even 5 to 10x the number of leads you're getting per month from internet marketing. So there should be a link below, restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there you can download the checklist for free of charge, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.